Have you ever felt like you need, I don't know, a secret decoder ring just to figure out what your Cancer crush is thinking? Yeah, you are not alone. So today we're going to use a little numerology to create an emotional forecast for that very first week of January 2026. This is your guide to what's really going on in their heart. Let's get started.
Right? This is the million-dollar question when you're crushing on a Cancer. They can be so tricky to read, sometimes sending these mixed signals that leave you totally guessing. Well, think of this explainer as your exclusive peek behind the curtain into their inner world.
Okay, so before we jump into the day-by-day forecast, we've got to understand what makes a Cancer tick, especially when it comes to love. We're about to break down the fundamentals of their very unique emotional language. So, first things first, they're ruled by the moon. This means their feelings move in waves, not in a straight line. They are incredibly nurturing and sensitive, but that also means they have this deep, deep fear of rejection. So the key? Making them feel safe and reassured. And remember this, they often show their love through actions, not just words.
So, what's the cosmic weather report for this week? Well, the numerology is just buzzing with what we call fresh start energy. Think of it as a double dose of new beginnings. You've got January, the first month, carrying that number 1 energy, and the year 2026 itself adds up to a 1. This is a really powerful vibration, and it's setting the stage for a new emotional chapter. It's going to influence their feelings in a big way all week.
All right, with that foundation in place, now we can map out the whole week. Think of this as a timeline of their inner emotional tides. We'll show you when the currents are gentle and when they might just pull back a little bit. And wow, it really is a journey. The week kicks off on this really soft, sentimental note. Then it kind of moves into a more guarded, thoughtful phase midweek. But don't worry, it ends on a super high note with a feeling of confidence and openness. Let's take a closer look at how this all builds, day by day. Okay, now we're zooming in. Let's get into the nitty-gritty, the day-by-day specifics of what's really happening inside their heart and their mind during this huge first week of the year.
You know, the start of a new year makes a Cancer feel deeply nostalgic. It just happens. So on January 1st and 2nd, their emotional walls are probably going to be way lower. They're likely thinking about past moments you've shared, feeling this really strong pull towards you, and yeah, maybe even quietly checking up on your social media.
During those first couple of days, this is the question just looping in their mind. They're feeling vulnerable and they're looking for even the smallest sign from you, just a little reassurance that the connection is still there.
And then a sudden shift. Around the 3rd and 4th, they might pull back and get a little quiet. Now listen, this is really important. This is not because they've lost interest. It's a self-protective instinct. After feeling so open and vulnerable, their fear kicks in and makes them retreat to a place where they feel emotionally safe. But just as quickly as that tide goes out, it comes right back in. By the 5th and 6th, that loving, caring energy returns, but now it has this quiet confidence to it. They're feeling more secure, and their mind is just filled with thoughts of you. You know, maybe rereading old messages or just daydreaming about a future together. Their affection is deep, even when it's quiet.
And this brings us to the peak of the week. On January 7th, everything clicks. Emotional stability comes back, and their confidence in the connection is soaring. This is the day. The gate for communication truly swings wide open. They are most likely to feel comfortable reaching out, or at the very least, they'll be incredibly receptive if you do. Okay, so what do you do with all this info? This next section is your practical guide. We're translating this emotional forecast into clear, actionable advice so you can actually make that connection happen. Think of this as your cheat sheet for the week. Your chances are high right at the start of the week, as long as you're gentle. They dip a little bit midweek when they're overthinking things, but then they become very high on the 7th. This just goes to show how crucial timing is when you're connecting with a Cancer. So what's the game plan? Well, it's all about being gentle. Use warm, caring language, because a cold, short reply can feel like a huge rejection to them. A simple, heartfelt message, just wishing them well for the new year, can work absolute wonders. Just remember, with a Cancer, a slow, safe connection is what allows them to truly, truly bloom. We've covered their nature, the week's energy, and your strategy. Now, let's pull it all together and unlock the single most important key to their heart this week. So here's the bottom line. Despite the emotional ups and downs, the feeling underneath it all is connection. They start the week missing you, they do a little bit of overthinking in the middle, but they end with total clarity. Your success really just hinges on one thing, providing a sense of comfort and genuine care. So please, don't get discouraged by their emotional tides. Seriously, just like the ocean, a Cancer's feelings are deep, they're powerful, and they will always, always return. The real secret is just understanding their rhythm and meeting them with patience and a whole lot of warmth.